Well, I mean, it's one of my books, so they're sexy and funny
Yeah,
and all of those things.
absolutely.
Well, this book is really a standalone within the series. So you can read it without having read any of the others. You will recognize a few of the characters from the previous novels in the series, but if you haven't read it, it won't confuse you. Absolutely. I got involved because of Elizabeth Berry. She is one of the co-founders of 1001 Dark Nights, and she approached me and asked me to be involved with the project. And at first, I turned her down. Just because I didn't think I had time in my deadline schedule to write additional stories. But when I was in New York, she was in New York at the same time as me, and she asked if we could at least just sit down for a breakfast meeting. And by the end of that meeting, I had confirmed that I would go ahead and move forward with it. It's such a great program to be involved in. Absolutely. I've never lived in New Orleans. I've visited quite frequently, especially over the last 2 or 3 years. Um, the first time I visited was in February of 2014, I believe, and I just fell in love with it. I knew I had to set a series in that city. It's just so
Yeah.
rich in color, and
Mhm.
I really think New Orleans is a character in this series. It is, you couldn't not make it, just bring it to life. It's really fun. When I came up with the idea of this story, Sarah was pretty vivid for me. I knew that she would have to be a very special girl to get Adam's attention, at least for the
Right.
long run, because he's very much he just loves women, all of them.
Hmm.
So I knew she had to be very strong and just very special. Um, and she's a single mom. So I thought that bringing that element of being a single mom into her profession, she's a she's a social worker and she works with at-risk women and children. She's just very passionate about that. There's some things in her background that add to that. And I just knew from the beginning that's what she was going to do. It was very natural. I didn't do a ton of research beforehand. I'm kind of a
Yeah.
research as I write kind of girl, so I'll be in the middle of a chapter and be like, "Oh, I don't know what they would do now," and then I pause and go to Google or make a phone call. So,
Right.